Hey everybody, it's Tara Green, the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. It says it's, hi everybody, okay, I can see you, okay. All right, hi everybody, Tara Green here, Cosmic Intelligence Agency. This is the live August astrology aspects and tarot card preview guidance that I've been bringing to you, Cosmic Intelligence Agency viewers and my friends and my guest too. Sorry, I just switched from my phone to the computer, so sorry, a little bit of a back and forth here. So I'm going to wait a few minutes because this was preset. My computer says that it's 7:59, but my phone says that it's 8:01 already. There's a 2-minute discrepancy there. So I'm going to wait for people to come on and say hi. I know there's been less viewerships on these videos these days. That's what Yulia, who is the founder of the CIA, says there's hardly many viewerships, and I would like to switch to doing live on YouTube in the future. So again, I'm just going to wait a bit. Please come on and say hi so I can see you. Okay. All right. So how's everybody doing? We have been going through a lot. Okay. We have been going through a lot. We all know that little recap. You know, the Barbo, the famous. Is everybody Barbo basket outed already? It was sort of became the hit thing, even though people hadn't been talking about it for a long time ahead, which is usually a sign that it is important. So there was that. Now the Barbo basket is not finished. It's not complete. It's got a number of stages to it. So there will be another stage, another alignment like that happening November 28th, 29th, and then again in 2027. So again, I'm waiting for people to show up here. It is a holiday weekend. I just want to mention also it's a holiday weekend in Canada. It is a federal holiday. At least it is in Ontario. I'm not sure if it is in all of Canada. Federal means the whole country. August the 3rd. So it's a holiday weekend here. So a lot of people are heading for their cottages out of town to celebrate. All right. Is anybody going to come on here? I don't like shouting into the void, you know. So, okay, I'm going to wait a few more minutes for people to show up here. It says I've only been on for a few seconds. That's kind of strange. Okay, I feel like I've been talking here for a while. Yeah, hello viewers. Is anybody there? All right, this is what we're going to talk about August here. Come on and say hi. Let me see you. Say hi. Let me know where you're from. I'm based in Toronto, Canada. I'm Agent 129 of the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. Let me know where you're from in the world. Cosmic Intelligence Agency has fans and viewers from all over the world, many in Australia, also in the States, Canada, stuff like that, right? Okay. So I can't believe it's August already. It's July the 31st here. It is August already if you're down under, if you're over in Australia. Yeah, where is this year going? So August the 1st is traditionally a pagan holiday called Lammas. And I've always celebrated pagan cross-border days. That's what this is because we're at the midpoint already between summer solstice and autumn equinox, right? So yeah, we're halfway there already. So it is a celebration of the harvest, of the grain. The light is obviously beginning to wane. I've been noticing that already because I'm out working in my garden. And it gets dark already much earlier. Okay. Now, we are getting ready to go into eclipse season. Eclipse season part 2 of this year. Okay. I'm going to keep waiting until people come on here because they seem to be a bit slow coming on here today. I don't know about you, but I've been feeling really exhausted the last while. It's the solar flares and the Schumann resonance and all that incredible energy going on, right? And there's more to come, even though we've gone through most of the major switch ups of the planets this year. Okay, are you ready for eclipse season part 2? It involves Leos and Pisces. And of course, the nodes have just changed from Pisces Virgo into Leo Aquarius. So most of the planets, except for the faster moving planets, Venus, Mercury, Mars, they're changing signs very quickly. But of course, all of the other planets Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Hi, happy Lammas. Hi, Eleanor. Okay, I'm just going to wait for more people to come on here. So all of those outer planets are all in fire and air elements. And I believe that is really quite rare to have that imbalance, right? So as you can see, if you don't believe in astrology, what I'm realizing is, I don't know if you've noticed the news that there's these huge wildfires in France and Spain. We just got hit with them in northern Ontario. There was over 400 of them over a week ago. Now they're not making any news, but the air quality here in Toronto, which is thousands of miles away, actually, Ontario is a huge place. And it was up in Thunder Bay North, a lot of indigenous territory up there. It is millions of acres of just little trees, actually, and the smoke, the sky was orange. We had the worst air quality in the world, and a lot of people couldn't go out. I didn't go out for 3 days. So there's that, you can see as above, so below, fire and air, volcanoes, explosions, all of that stuff, right? So things are pretty tumultuous, okay? And, we signed up for this, right? Okay. So I'm going to wait. There seems to be more people coming on here. So if you celebrate Lammas, there's nice loaf breads that you make and things that you celebrate the sun, as the sun is losing its light, right? But it's a nice thing. So if you've had a garden or whatever, you can see, obviously, it's time to harvest here in the Northern Hemisphere. All right, so let's get down to it. More people will come on. The highlights, Chiron turns retrograde. It just entered Taurus. So we're in for a whole new element there with Chiron moving from Aries into Taurus on June 19th. And it's turning retrograde. So it will go backwards and re-enter Aries again, making that fire and air prominence again. Venus enters her home sign of Libra, which is always nice for Librans. Mercury enters Leo and Virgo. Mercury's moving very fast this month, going through 2 signs. Mars enters Cancer, and Virgo season begins. Again, the eclipse season starts with August the 12th, the total solar eclipse in Leo, and August the 27th or the 28th, depending on where you are in the Earth. Very deep, partial lunar eclipse in Pisces at a very important point. So August the 1st, again, Lammas, as I mentioned. August the 3rd, the wounded healer turns retrograde at 0 degrees, 52 minutes. Taurus. Now, if you've noticed the difference between June 19th and now, has your body been feeling different? Because Chiron has moved from fire, where it's spirit, where it's passion, where it's, moving, where it's inspired, where it's angry, defensive, into Taurus, which is very much in the body. And, much of a lot of healing trauma work is now about working in the body. The body holds all the emotions. If you're a follower of Gabor Mate, Chiron and Taurus is really about embodying those wounds and becoming wounded healers ourselves, right? Also, I haven't seen Ulysses yet, or the Odyssey, but if you've seen the Odyssey, I think it's great because it's bringing all this, interest back into Greek mythology. And this type of Western tropical astrology is based on Greek myths, so that's a good thing. So Chiron, the wounded healer, was very famous in Greek mythology for healing great Greek heroes. So Chiron's turning retrograde again on the 3rd at 1:10 p.m. PDT, 4:10 p.m. EDT, 9:10 p.m. GMT. Okay. August the 6th, Venus enters Libra, so that's really good for relationships, for trying to find some peace. Apparently, there is some movement into real peace talks. Venus in Libra is very good. Venus is going to stay in Libra until September the 10th, so that's a good month there. That gives us hope, not hopium, but it's a positive thing. Venus in Libra at 12:13 p.m. PDT, 3:13 p.m. EDT, 8:13 p.m. GMT. Again, Venus in Libra gives us a chance to really be present, be balanced, seek balance, be the go-between, the ambassador, beautify our relationships, ourselves, all of that stuff. Good taste, good for social, want to have a big party, especially with Jupiter and Leo, y'all want to party. On August the 6th, the Sun trines Saturn in Aries at 14 plus degrees at 7:44 p.m. PDT, 10:44 p.m. EDT, August the 7th at 3:44 a.m. GMT. Trines like the Barbeau basket. Part of the Barbeau basket was trines and sextiles. They're positive aspects. So the Sun is giving you, Saturn, even though it's retrograde in Aries, a chance to get disciplined, to get work done, to set new goals. On the 7th, Venus in conjuncts Chiron at 0 degrees. And so that's at 8:43 a.m. PDT, 11:43 a.m. EDT, 4:34 p.m. GMT. An inconjunct or a quincunx is where planets are 150 degrees apart and they can't see each other. So they're blind. So it's a blind spot. And what you can't see can really hurt you. So again, Chiron retrograde at 0 degrees, there may be some body memory coming up between an old relationship, which can be a good thing. You know, it can be very healing, actually. On the 9th of August, Mercury enters Leo at 9:28 p.m. PDT, 12:28 p.m. EDT, 5:28 p.m. GMT until August 25th. So say it loud and proud, and lots of big egos shouting out at each other, and you know, just be proud, be loud, have fun, you know, declare that you're a leader, you know, be the queen or the king for the time that Mercury's in Leo, right? Okay. Now, August the 9th, Mercury squares Chiron at 10:16 p.m. PDT, and on the 10th at 1:16 a.m. PDT, 6:16 a.m. GMT, at 0 degrees Leo Taurus. Again, Mercury squaring Chiron. So, you know, there can be this friction between what we say, the hurts that we say, what we declare, especially with Leo, you know, you did this, you were wrong, blah, blah, blah. That's the sort of downside of Mercury and Leo. August the 10th, Venus trines Pluto. Now that's a really good, nice one. 11:09 a.m. PDT, 2:09 p.m. EDT, 9:09 p.m. GMT at 3 degrees Libra Aquarius. This is a big wealth, big love balance here. It's good for women's empowerment. It's good for the stock markets and plutocrats. It's good for women to really examine their wealth, right? And the wealth that you have in your relationships, like really Venus and Libra is about values. You know, how much do I value my relationships, my friends, and how balanced am I? How much do I move from my soul? Pluto rules the soul. August the 10th, Venus opposite Neptune, 3:02 p.m. PDT, 6:02 p.m. EDT, 11:02 p.m. GMT at 4 degrees Libra Aries. Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. So again, that balance is like seeking your soulmate. It's very spiritual. It's very dreamy, creative. Lots of projections. Can be money loss. Neptune is debt, money loss, but also about addictions, delusions. Be careful about taking drugs, any kind of drugs, even prescriptions at parties and stuff like that. So, and also going under anesthetic. Neptune is like, and false doctor, you know, predictions. August 11th, Mars enters Cancer at 1:30 a.m. PDT, 4:30 a.m. EDT, 9:30 a.m. GMT until September 27th, 28th. Now that's a long time for Mars to be in Cancer. And so wherever Mars is where the energy, where the action is, where our desire is, and where our defenses are. So you can be very defensive about your home, your family, your feelings. It can be very passive aggressive energy. I'm sure we know Cancer is the mother, you know, mothers are very passive aggressive, and sons too. Men who are very aggressive or, you know, trying to take on that feminine role in a way that can be a good thing. You know, it's sort of for the archetypal masculine and Cancer, it's like they want to cook for you. But it's about needing safety, emotional safety above all. So seeking that. Anger simmering below the surface, our desire is for emotional safety, protecting women and children. That's the divine masculine's positive role, is to protect and uphold the women and the children, and loving our home, desiring a home. Anger, women being really angry as well, is also part of that. So that's going to go on for quite a while. On the 11th, Mercury opposes Pluto at 6:20 p.m. PDT and 9:20 p.m. EDT, August the 12th at 2:20 a.m. GMT at 3 plus Leo Aquarius. Now, Mercury in Leo gives you courage to speak from your soul and defend those you love from your heart against plutocrats, against big corporations and elites. I don't know if you've been following the news about finally Fauci going on trial for lying to everybody, and that's really part of that Mercury in Leo standing up to the plutocrats and telling them exactly, you know, what kind of nefarious, greedy folks they are. Okay, August the 11th, Mercury trines Neptune at 8:39 p.m. PDT, 11:39 p.m. EDT, August the 12th at 4:39 a.m. GMT at 4 degrees Leo Aries. Again, trines, if you've been following Angine de Poitrine, the pyramid there, they're always trining away there. So Mercury trine Neptune, very good for erotic, for writing about novels, fantasy, spiritual stuff. Neptune is higher ideals, connecting with your spirit guides, your guardian angels, connecting on the astral planes, speaking from your higher self. But be careful again about doing any drugs, mushrooms, or getting caught in fantasy, losing projections, and also getting taken advantage of for, phone scammers and hackers and things like that. That's very prevalent these days. August the 11th, Venus trines Uranus. Again, trines, good, positive, supportive aspects, 8:46 p.m. PDT, 11:46 p.m. EDT. August the 12th at 4:46 a.m. GMT at 5 degrees Libra Gemini. Again, very creative, think outside the box, and you might meet unusual people, or your tastes really change, and you want to dress differently. It's very high tech. Again, there can be it can be good for crypto and things like that. On the 12th, Mars sextiles Chiron and Taurus, 7:42 a.m. PDT, 10:42 a.m. EDT. August 13th, 3:42 a.m. GMT at 0 degrees Cancer Virgo. So again, a sextile from Mars gives you the passion. Mars is in Cancer, to really talk about those childhood wounds, to really investigate them, to really give them energy, give them support. Let's put it that way. Defend them, defend the inner child. August the 12th, the Leo total eclipse at 20 degrees Leo, 2 minutes, is visible in the Arctic, in Greenland, Iceland, and Spain, where they've just had all those refugees stream in. And it's a partial solar eclipse at 10:37 a.m. PDT, 1:37 p.m. EDT, 6:37 p.m. GMT at peak. That's the peak is visible from North America and West Africa and Europe. So we're only going to see part of it in certain parts of the world. Okay. Again, in Leo, this is about things of our heart, our willpower, our creativity. It's the inner child, the golden child, self-expression, right? So all of that. Now, so it can really help you for the next 6 months. All eclipses open windows of opportunity for the next months to really focus on what's in your heart, what empowers your heart. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. In the tarot, Leo is this card here, which is called Lust in the deck that I use, right? So if it doesn't feel great, if you're not totally passionate about it, don't do it. August the 12th, Mercury sextiles Uranus, 1:48 p.m. PDT, 4:48 p.m. EDT, 9:48 p.m. GMT at 5 degrees Leo Gemini. Again, this is good for, thinking, inventing, being very creative, right? Okay, now, August, where am I here? August the 15th, Mercury conjuncts Jupiter. 4:23 a.m. PDT, 7:23 a.m. EDT, 12:23 p.m. GMT. It's a lovely, creative, open your heart, speak from it aspect at 10 degrees. Mercury conjunct Jupiter, kind of like a Kazemi, but with Jupiter. Again, very poetic. It feels very poetic somehow. Good time to have a party. You want to launch a big project. You want to get some PR. That's a good day to do it, August 15th. On August the 16th, Mercury in conjunct Pluto, 8:15 p.m. PDT, 11:15 p.m. EDT. And August the 17th, 4:15 a.m. GMT at 3+ degrees Cancer Aquarius. This is a difficult aspect. Quincunxes, again, blind spots. Mars and Pluto both rule Scorpio. So this could be a lot of underhanded dealing or things coming out into the light. Cancer, things with women. Again, more rape accusations. Could be a reveal of all that underhanded, dirty stuff as well. August the 17th, Mars squares Neptune, 2:52 p.m. a.m. PDT, 5:52 a.m. EDT, 10:52 a.m. GMT at 4 degrees Cancer Aries. It's a very deceptive aspect. Smoke, addictions, delusions, projections, mental illness. So it could be more shootings, drug stuff, drug busts, things like that. Big debt can be very disappointing for the stock market, so be very careful. You could be also very disappointed by somebody in your family. Again, this could be family ghosts that come up. Also on the 17th, Mars trines Saturn retrograde at 8:27 a.m. PDT, 11:27 a.m. EDT, 4:27 a.m. GMT at 14+ Leo Aries. Again, speak with your authority, and it's about elder wisdom. Saturn rules elders, so I think there's going to be a new crone. I call it crone wisdom, women speaking up, respect for elders. Talk to your dad, listen from your heart to his wisdom, okay? And it's also about taking yourself more seriously. On the 17th, Venus sextiles Jupiter, also a very lovely aspect. 9:16 a.m. PDT, 12:16 p.m. EDT, 5:16 p.m. GMT, a lovely supportive aspect. They're two benefics, okay? It's just like the Sun, Jupiter. This is a lesser version of that, supporting each other. It's great to launch a creative project, celebrate something with a partner. you know, an anniversary, whatever it is. My 30th wedding anniversary, actually, on that day. Can't believe it's 30 years already. But anyway, it's very good for everybody. Libra, Leos. August the 21st, Venus opposes Saturn at 5:43 a.m. PDT, 8:43 a.m. EDT. August 22nd, 1:43 a.m. GMT at 14 plus degrees Libra, Aries. So again, those oppositions, arguments, but it can also be getting serious with someone you love. It's a good day actually for an engagement or to get married or sign a serious business contract, long-term goal, or new partnerships. You know, Saturn and Aries is like old plus new at the same time, or kind of revivifying something. It may be a good day to take vows, new vows, and things like that. On the 22nd, Virgo season starts. The sun enters the Virgin Goddess sign of the harvest, 7:19 p.m. PDT, 10:19 p.m. EDT, and on the 23rd at 3:19 a.m. GMT. Again, it's the harvest here in the northern hemisphere. I guess it's spring, putting seeding things in the southern. August 23rd, the sun trines Chiron at 0 degrees Virgo Taurus, 12:30 p.m. PDT, 3:30 p.m. EDT, 8:30 p.m. GMT. Again, sun trine Chiron is a good day to heal, good day to get a healing session, good day to do past life regression, okay, body work. August the 21st, Mercury goes home to Virgo, 4:04 p.m. PDT, 7:04 a.m. EDT, 12:04 a.m. PDT. With Mercury in Virgo, you know, planets when they're home signs are really happy. They express themselves. So again, this is good. We're getting ready to go into back to school, archetypally back to school season. So this is good. You can get serious and get focused. You know, the days are starting to get a little bit shorter and cooler here, even maybe in the northern hemisphere here. On the 25th, Mercury trines Chiron at 11:57 a.m. PDT, 2:57 p.m. EDT, 7:57 p.m. GMT at 0 Virgo Taurus. Again, Mercury trine Chiron, very creative, you know, like write poetry about your wounds, dialogue with your wounds, you know, just give voice to it, right? Okay, Mercury and Virgo, take an inventory. You know, maybe you need to take an inventory. Everybody you're pissed off with who've hurt you. You know, that would be practical too. It gets it out of your body. On the 26th, the sun in conjuncts Pluto at 1:10 p.m. PDT 4:10 p.m. EDT 9:10 p.m. GMT at 3 degrees Virgo Aquarius. Again, difficult aspects. There's a few of these blind spots I've mentioned. They're important to pay attention with because it's what you can't see, especially with Pluto, that can gang up a shadow aspect, some kind of self, sabotage. On the 26th, the sun quincunx Neptune in Aries at 5:31 p.m. PDT, 8:31 p.m. EDT, August 27th at 1:30 a.m. GMT at 3 Virgo. So again, another one. The sun is going through all of these. The sun, actually, your source, sun represents your source. Again, Neptune, is there some kind of unconscious projection that you need to take back or see or look at, or it'll come at you to make you see it. On the 26th, Mercury quincunx Pluto. So there's a whole bunch of these. 11:42 p.m. August 27th at 2:42 a.m. EDT, 7:42 a.m. GMT. Again, 3 degrees Virgo Aquarius. Again, hard to see. Power protests, hackers, AI. When we're dealing with Pluto, it's always AI. Can be people talking about data centers. There's a lot of protests here about them. And on the 27th, Mercury quincunx Neptune in Aries, same repeat thing. 1:50 a.m. PDT, 4:50 a.m. EDT, 9:50 a.m. GMT. Pay attention to your dreams, and you will be able to find hidden treasures, especially in nightmares. And on the 27th, the Sun conjuncts Mercury, 10:04 a.m. PDT, 1:04 p.m. EDT, 6:04 p.m. GMT at 3 plus degrees Virgo, a cazimi. It's a kind of a cazimi, of course. Sun planets in the heart of the sun. It's good to initiate a writing project or to communicate directly. Now, August 27th, I'm almost at the end of this. We're going to do the tarot cards. August 27th, there's a very deep, but it's a partial lunar eclipse. It'll be 96.2% Mercury in Virgo. We've got to pay attention to those details. At 4 degrees Pisces, 54 minutes at 9:18 p.m. PDT. It's August the 28th at 12:18 a.m. EDT and 5:18 a.m. GMT. It will be visible over North and South America, Africa, and parts of Europe. So if you're in the path of the eclipse totality, it is affecting you directly. Okay, that's very important. That's why there's eclipse chasers, that people go to be in the shadow of the eclipse because that's where you get the most impact. So that is conjunct the fixed star Fomalhaut, which is the Archangel Gabriel. So to me, that's very, very important. You know, on Judgment Day, Archangel Gabriel blows the trumpet. So not that I'm a believer in that or a catastrophizer, But, you know, a lot of Bible thumpers are going to take that, if they know that symbolism and that connection, as a signal. On the 28th, Mercury squares Uranus, 12:25 a.m. PDT, 3:25 p.m. EDT, 8:25 p.m. GMT. An unusual or upsetting message, or you can meet someone in a weird way. It could be good to connect with people dating on the dating apps. A quantum leap in communications is possible, and an AI or a space message also because of that one. August 28th, Sun squares Uranus in Gemini, 3:19 p.m. PDT, 6:19 p.m. EDT, 11:19 p.m. GMT at 5+ degrees of Virgo. Again, it's a hard aspect to AI. There can be a lot of protests about data centers, big hacking. You know, do your passwords, wild energies, volcanic activity, new discoveries, a revolution against mainstream medicine to natural herbal medicines, or they're trying to capture it and take it away from people. August 31st, last day of August, Jupiter trines Saturn at 3:17 p.m. PDT, 6:17 p.m. EDT, 11:17 p.m. GMT. It's a very good aspect. It's a work hard, play hard at 13+ degrees Leo Aries. Okay. All right. We've done all that. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm calling the people back in because I can see there's not that many viewers here, but I was warned about this. Okay. So next time we're going to switch to doing this on YouTube. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to virtually smudge you all, and please let me know. I know there's a few of you watching. Please let me know where you are in the world. I'm going to virtually smudge you. So here's how this works. If you haven't been here before, I use my special Herkimer diamond crystal. You can see it looks like a big crystal skull, actually. It looks like an alien there. All right, and then I'm going to take my cards. Now I use my Thoth Tarot, okay? And I'm going to use these cards, and I'm going to start with Aries, of course, and go through Pisces, and then I'm going to also pull an extra kind of a helper or a balance card. Now, this is the Muse Tarot here. Also, you can see the two different Leo cards here, right? Okay, very different. So that's the Thoth Tarot. Oh, sorry, this is the Thoth Tarot. This is the Muse Tarot. Okay, so let's get started here. Okay, so Aries. Okay, I'm going to take off my glasses so I can really see. So Aries, okay. Aries sun signs, of course. Aries moon, Aries rising. If you have Aries anything, any planets in Aries, you can use this card to guide you for this month, okay? All right, so I'm using, sorry, I have to straighten these out here. I'm using the 22 major arcana here. Sorry, some are up and some are going down. And I have an extra couple of cards that I put in there, okay, as well, for a surprise. All right, so Aries, let's see what Aries has here. Okay, Aries. Aha, you get the tower. Okay, so this is the tower, just like in 9/11. This is number 16, and you can see the reason I use these cards is because they have the planetary symbols on it. It's one of the first with that, and it has Mars. So again, Aries is ruled by Mars. So there could be some big shocking revelation for you, Aries. You know, especially Mars going into Cancer, it's going to square your sign. So there could be some irritation, some new passion, some action, some battle you want to fight. Can be good battles. You know, there's good battles too. Fight the good fight, Aries. Okay, but it can be a sense of like, okay, maybe now this is the lightning bolt that I needed to wake me up. You know, it's like, okay, that's it. Not going to take this anymore. Okay, so it's that kind of energy. So, you know, I would say in general for all Aries energy, it's like any new beginning kind of gets blown up or set back or terrorized in a way. This is like literally like 9/11. This card was actually the archetype of what happened at 9/11. So it could be some shocking thing that clears the old field, because you have to do that. You have to always destroy. That's like the Hindu god. It's gods and goddesses. There has to be destruction for birth. All right, so Aries, let's give you an extra card here as well. Okay, let's give you an extra card, Aries. Okay. Okay, let's give you an extra card, Aries. Let's see what you got. Okay, and you also get the tower. Okay, the twin towers here. Okay, if you're into the Lord of the Rings, there's twin towers, so the synchronicity is working right away. All right, now this is a very different tower in this Muse Tarot. It's kind of a very feminine deck. There are no masculine figures in this deck, which I think is kind of imbalanced these days. But anyway, it's more like you're getting hit by lightning to wake you up. And traditionally, being hit by lightning, if you can survive it, is definitely the mark of a shaman. And I do know someone who was hit twice by lightning and it made her an incredible writer and a shaman. Now she is native as well. So again, so Aries, be prepared for a big shocking revelation, a wake up, Kundalini awakening. Also be careful if you do any kind of holotropic breath work or mushrooms or whatever, ayahuasca, that could be. Sometimes you have to be careful. It can be too much, but it can be a real positive thing too. Okay. So Taurus, now, if you're born right at the beginning of Taurus, of course, Chiron just entered your sign, and even though it's going to retrograde back to Aries for a while, you have to be prepared for the next 7 to 8 years ahead. All right. So Taurus. Now again, because very few planets are in earth signs, it's really important for the earth signs to keep everybody else kind of grounded in a way. All right, you get Venus here, the Empress, the number 3. So this is the planet that rules you. So watch Venus, she goes through her 8-year cycles where she makes her star points. And you can learn more about that. Yulia is one of the people who talks about that. As well as Ariel Gutman, who kind of invented the whole Venus star phase there. So again, for Taurus, this can be very fruitful, very creative, very, this is a sign of fertility, new abundance coming into your life in August. If you're wanting to get pregnant, this is about if you want to conceive anything new, a project, a DIY. With Venus and Libra, it's also good for, all Venus and Taurus as well. So it can be issues with your mother, women, but it's generally a very positive, beautiful card. Beautify your home, enjoy yourself, really feed yourself well, feel abundant, All right. So let's give Taurus as an extra card here too. Okay. All right. Nobody's posting tonight. Don't be shy. Okay. So here you get the number 20. Again, in the regular Rider-Waite-Smith deck, this is called Judgment, and it is Judgment Day, as I mentioned before, connected to that Archangel Gabriel, and that lunar eclipse, August 27th, 28th, in Pisces. So for Taurus, there's a new sense of awakening, a new beginning. So you're already pregnant with it. You may not feel it yet. It's coming. So awaken to the beauty inside of yourself, inside of the divine feminine. That's Empress. Values, Taurus is always about values, so awaken to a new sense of self-worth and abundance in your life during August. All right, so Gemini. So with Uranus and Gemini, again, this is a big break out of the old for Geminis. Okay, so let's see what you get. Okay, and you get the card of Leo here. Okay, this is the Strength card. So, the part of that Barbo basket was these sextiles, planets 2 signs apart, 60 degrees apart, supporting each other so for Geminis, Jupiter in Leo is giving all Geminis a nice kind of little support, abundance, expansion, big-heartedness, luck, So this is good. So this is about do what's in your heart, follow your passion, follow your bliss, be proud, be loud, be over the top, and give generously, because this is really, the card of Strength. Leo is famous for being very generous to the people they love and wearing their hearts on their sleeve. So, be proud of yourself, Gemini. Okay, Geminis get a hard rap these days, I know. All right, so let's give Gemini an extra card here too. All right, so Gemini. You get the number 5 here, the Hierophant. Now, again, this deck is extremely different than the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. The Hierophant is Taurus energy, actually, and it is the High Priest, right, or the Pope. Okay, so the Hierophant represents in some ways that you could be doing things the hard way if you're not listening to your intuition, if you're not listening to your passion, your soul. You could call the Strength card listening to your heart, your passion, your soul. And it's about not letting any outside authority tell you what to do. So this is kind of a real inner strengthening time for you, okay, Gemini. Okay, so learning to trust your own inner gut instincts. Okay, so Cancer. So Mars, again, is in your sign, going into your sign. So this puts the emphasis on Cancer again. You've just had Jupiter leave you after a year. It's kind of puts some energy, pumps it up back for you. Okay. Now you get this card here. Now the reason I use this deck is because of this one card, and it represents the invisible Sephiro called Da'at. So it is the bridge between the 10 Sephiro and what's beyond. So it's really where you touch the Godhead or your holy guardian angel, and that's very much in the mix. I'm really feeling that with that August 27, 28 lunar eclipse. So for Cancer, this is the time to really connect with your higher self, to really bring that down. You're very empathetic, very emotional, very sensitive. Really connect with your higher self and really listen to it and really embrace it. I would say the more you listen, the more you trust it, the more you have the holy knowledge of your holy guardian angel, which is the whole purpose of the tarot. Okay. All right. So let's give Cancer an extra card here. Okay. All right. So Cancer. In this deck, you get the Magician. All right. Now the Magician, the number 1 is the same as this year. 2026 reduces to the number 1. So for Cancer, this is about initiating, again, a new conversation, a new way of being. It's new ideas. It's Mercury, the messenger. Mercury's just come out of its retrograde, so Mercury here representing new ideas, new initiations, a new you, very much a new aspect coming forward into your life in August. So you may not be aware of it yet because it's just beginning. Okay, it's just an inkling, and open up to all kinds of new ideas. That's also really good. Okay, so now we get to Leo. Okay, so for you all Leos, this is your year. Okay, and you get the number 1 card. So you get the Magician. Now it's interesting, one magician following another. You don't have to be a Harry Potter fan to get the Magician. So work your magic, Leo. You can be a very powerful person to bring abundance, to bring, give to a food bank. You're generous. You've got Jupiter on your side. So give to others, help out, do charitable work. It's like Leo, Aquarius. Leo's shadow is Aquarius, where Pluto is, right? And they have just been at opposition. So again, this is about initiating new things, taking the lead, creating magic in your life, helping other people as well. Okay, so Leo, let's give you an extra card too. Okay. So Leo, you get the sun. Okay, and Leo is ruled by the sun. So here comes the sun. Play all those sunny songs. Bask in the sunshine while you can here in the Northern Hemisphere. It's the peak of summer here. It's been very hot the last few days. Be connected to your source. Be charismatic. Shine, sun, 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 all those Beatles songs. And be the source of light for other people. So be that light worker, be that light bringer, Leo. You got a whole year to convey the light, to bring the light, to be enlightened, all of that energy there, right? So just shine from your heart. Okay. So now Virgo. Okay, we're going to get into your season soon. So let's see what Virgos have here. All right, so Virgo, you get the Emperor, the King. So this is Aries energy. So again, for Virgo, August is the time to make new beginnings, to own your power, to set boundaries. Issues with your father, bosses. It could be looking for a new job. It could be initiating, becoming an entrepreneur, which is very much part of the sign of these times. So squaring things up, very literally. Okay, number 4, remembering to work with the 4 elements. Aries, be more impulsive. Don't worry so much. Virgo's always very anxiety prone. Start a new diet, start some new initiation in terms of finance, whatever it is you want to start. It's like brand new day. Okay. All right. So Virgo, let's give you an extra card as well. Virgos, let's see what you got here. You get the card of the moon. Okay. So the moon, this is traditionally the dark side of the moon. This is about, even though you're going into your power here, you also want to stay balanced. Pay attention to the lunar eclipse. It's very literal here. There could be some shadow energies coming up here. If you're in Aries, Pisces is really always your archetypal 12th house. So there can be some major revelations from this eclipse for the 6 months after late August. Also, it's about doing ceremony, I would say. Working with the moon cycle is very important to you as well. And listening to your intuition, listening to your dreams. There's dream healing. That was the traditional Greek healing method thousands of years ago, which is what Chiron is all about. Listening to your dreams. Some people say Chiron should rule Virgo. Okay, some people say Sagittarius, but listen to your dreams. Okay, all right. So Libra. Now, because Venus is going to be in your sign for the next few months, again, you're going to be feeling very happy, good social season, maybe plan all the nice Christmas things that you want now. And you get the Hermit. Okay, so the number 9, the Hermit card, Librans don't really like to be alone. So, but this is about to really be centered and balanced in a relationship. You need to like your own company. You need to be alone. Now, this could be also honing in on listening to your inner wisdom. That's what the Hermit's all about, finishing something that you've been wanting to start. It's the number 9. The number 9 is always about completion. Could be your health issues that you need to pay attention to. So dig deep, and also natural medicine, alternative medicine, really listening to what your gut instincts tells you. It's always important. Okay. Okay, so Virgo. Sorry, we're on Libra. Wait, where are we? I'm losing track here now. Okay, that was Aries. No, nobody's Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo. We're on Libra, right? We are on Libra. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Okay, Libra. Let's give you an extra card here. You get the devil, the number 15. Okay, so the thing about Libra is it about balancing those complementary divine opposites. If you read Carl Jung, to be whole, you have to balance those two opposites. That's what Libra is all about. So the devil that you blame somebody else out there is really just your own unintegrated shadow, according to Jungian psychology. So this may be the time to do shadow work. When Venus is in your sign, she's giving you extra power, kind of extra points here. So, better the devil you know than the one you don't, whatever's bedeviling you or hanging you up or whatever. And the devil is also about seduction. So be careful that you don't get seduced. Okay. All right. So Scorpio. Now, Scorpio, with Jupiter in Leo, it's squaring all the fixed signs. And Scorpio is fixed water. So you get the Hierophant here, the number 5. So maybe you need to really speak up, really stand your truth. This is Earth. This is Taurus energy, the opposite of Scorpio, fixed sign. Again, your shadow. Could be some disagreement, some legal issue you were involved in. Don't be afraid to have your day in court, to speak your truth, to really manifest what meaning means to you. Also, this is a very feminine card. It shows Isis, the goddess Isis, standing in front of the traditional authority. Now, Isis, the star Isis, is involved with the myth of Isis, Osiris, and Horus. And that's what the Lion's Gate is all about that star Sirius. So it's about that rising. Excuse me, because it's the most beautiful star in the sky. You can easily see Sirius. It changes color all the time. That's why everybody worshipped it. And it is aligned with the 3 pyramids, right? Okay. So money. It's also money issues here, Scorpio. Maybe, again, look at your finances again. You might want to change your investments or invest in something new. Okay. All right, so Scorpio. Let's see what else we got. I see there's more people coming on here now. Okay, welcome. This is the card of the star. So this is Aquarius energy. Okay, so Pluto is definitely squaring in a hard aspect, 90 degrees from all Scorpios born in the first week of Scorpio. Okay, so the star. The sun's a star, well, Jupiter's in Leo. We're all stars, kind of. So this is an opportunity for you to really take a starring role, to really show who you are, to be a light, to, be the star of your own drama, whatever that is. Remember also with Jupiter and Leo, things are going to be extra dramatic for a whole year. Okay. They were very emotional with Jupiter and Cancer. Now they're going to be really dramatic and fiery. So be the star that you are, Scorpio. It may be time for you to shine a light on something that you've been holding on to for a long time that could be very, very creative. Okay, so Sagittarius. Now, so all the fire signs are benefiting, of course, from Aries energy, Saturn, Neptune, Jupiter, and Leo, and then Sagittarius. Okay, so Sag, let's see what you got. You got the Wheel of Fortune here. Okay, now, the Wheel of Fortune is the planet Jupiter. You can see it says it's got Jupiter's glyph there. So Jupiter in Leo is definitely benefiting you. So this is not the time to hang back or to worry. Just go ahead and do it. But everything's in your favor. You're going to roll with it. The more you push it, the more you trust, the more you take risks, the more you gamble, the more better positive results you'll get. Okay. So do that. Okay. It is really good for you this month. Again, that eclipse in Leo, if you're born in the last 10 days or you have planets in the last 10 days of that last decan of Sagittarius, also that's going to impact you quite a lot. Okay. So don't be afraid to trust. Jupiter is your ruling planet. Jupiter rules Sagittarius and Pisces traditionally. All right. So let's give you an extra card here as well. All right, then you get the death card. So something has to be let go of, something has to change, something has to die for the wheel to turn, okay? And you know this. And somehow you're holding on. It's maybe something so big and so valuable that, you're still afraid to, you're still not trusting enough. Okay, so Something's got to go. There's something new to be born, Sag. Okay. So Capricorn. So Capricorns, again, you're being squared by all the Aries planets here. And then Venus and Libra will also square you. So Capricorns, let's see what you get. You get the card of the world here. Now the world is a Capricorn card. It's Saturn on this. So again, this is for Capricorns. This is about going, I've been there, I've done that, I've gotten to my peak, I've gotten to the goal. Okay, what's next? So you have to come down off your high, your enlightenment moment and come back down and face reality. It's like, fetch water, carry wood, all that stuff, pay your taxes, right? That's Saturn, the tax man, right? So Saturn, it's kind of freeing. If you take responsibility for creating everything in your life, then you're free, okay, to move on. You've done it all. Okay, that's a good thing. Okay, so Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn gets the Hangman. So the number 12 here, the Hangman, again, this is not a very traditional looking hangman. The hangman in traditional Rider-Waite Smith decks is the god Odin, who voluntarily ties himself upside down by his ankle to the world tree. So this is about surrender. Again, there's still something that you need to let go of, or really just surrender to the new. Just surrender to being in a new place, Capricorn. Okay, it is new for you with Saturn in Aries. Okay, so now we get to Aquarius. Now, again, that Barbo basket, Jupiter opposite Pluto just happened. If you have any planets at 6 degrees, that's very much impacting you. So you get the card of the sun here, Aquarius. Okay. So again, the sun, this is you being the star, you bringing to light your own uniqueness, your inventiveness, your creativity, your ability to change society issues, your ability to innovate, your ability to be a good manager, a good organizer, all of that stuff. So be enlightened, let yourself just be bright, shine your light bright, don't hide. Okay, so Aquarius, let's give you another card too. All right, and you get the Emperor here. Now the Emperor is Aries energy. So again, you be the king, you be the boss. Again, Aries, very fiery. So Aquarius, you get to take charge, you get to lead a project, you get to be at the forefront. So just do that, that's a good thing. And again, the number 4 has to do with working with the 4 elements, having boundaries, healthy boundaries. Okay, and now we get to Pisces, get to the last one. So Pisces, again, if you have your sun, moon, rising in Pisces, any planets in Pisces, now remember that big eclipse, the lunar eclipse happening 27-28 is in 4 degrees of Pisces, connected to that big thick star called Fomalhaut, which is the mouth of the fishes. You see that in Australia, actually down under. You can see it a little bit here too. But it's the Archangel Gabriel. Okay, now you get the devil here. So the devil is nothing to be afraid of. The number 15 here is about fear. So do not get caught in fear, in like the deer in the headlights. That's just going to keep you stuck and frozen. It's about laughing at the devil. It's about not being able to be seduced. You will not sell out. You're going to be true to yourself, which is really where we're going now. People who are authentic, people who have experience, people who know what they're talking about. That's Capricorn energy. It's Saturn. It's the discipline. It's you put in your 10,000 hours. You know what you're doing. So, you can't get sold out. Okay. All right. Now, let's give Pisces an extra card here. All right. And you get the Wheel of Fortune. So again, the more you laugh at the devil, the more you don't buy into the fear. Now, don't doom scroll. I've heard there's people are taking, breaks from the internet, so they're not doom scrolling. So the Wheel of Fortune is more like, where can you find your fortune? You can find your fortune anywhere. If you're optimistic, if you're positive, it's kind of like the Fool in a way, if you're living in the moment. So there could be good money coming for you. There could be many new opportunities when you're not afraid to move ahead. Okay, and buy some lottery tickets. And, I just want to mention something else about the eclipses. You must never, ever manifest on eclipses. I know there's some very big pop astrologers who say you're supposed to do that. Never do that. Traditionally, I respect the tradition. These people who've watched eclipses in China and India for thousands of years and track them, they have very spiritual cultures, and I really respect them. You don't manifest. Pregnant women should not go out and see an eclipse traditionally because it was very feared. It's the north and south nodes are aligning, or what create eclipses when they're aligned very closely to the sun and the moon. So do not manifest. The best thing to do during a solar and a lunar eclipse, according to the Tibetan Buddhists, if you chant, if you do mantras, if you're doing purification just before and during the eclipse, and I'll be writing about it or doing videos and telling you, what to do for the time that it's on. You only chant positive things. And during a lunar eclipse, you get 100,000 times the benefits for all your prayers and good wishes. And for a solar eclipse, you get 1,000,000 times the benefits. So just chanting Om Mani Padme Hum, uh, just doing it once gives you 1,000,000. So that's the best time to do that. Give to charity. And again, on that Pisces lunar eclipse, it's going to be a very, very spiritual initiation time, right? And I am going to do a workshop for that one. So stay tuned, okay? Haven't done one in a while, and because I'm so personally connected to it as well, I really want to be there for other people to really help them. I channel kind of those energies during those eclipses and big planetary events. So I want to thank you for coming today. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more people who are going to see this and rewatch it. So I want to wish you all the best blessing for August. Join the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. They have wonderful astrologers. And if you want to get in touch with me for personal readings, I do all kinds of specialty readings, relationships readings. You can get in touch with me at tarottarot.com. So wishing you all the best blessing in Canada. Stay safe in Ontario. Sending you all these best blessings and see you next month. Maybe on a different station than this one. Okay, blessings.